Hey, what's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Mark, where I like talking all things music, news stories, and my own personal series, Mark Under the Microscope, where I give you an inside look as to who I am as a person through inspirational and motivational vlogging. So if you like things like that, please remember to slash that like button and annihilate that subscribe button and hit that post notification bell. I drop videos like this every Monday and Friday and every day in between. And also leave me comments down below. I love interacting with you guys. I'll also do subscriber requests, so huge shout out to my subscribers out there. I love you guys because without you, there would be no me and there would be no channel. But I think I've talked enough, so let's just jump straight into these videos. Let's go!
I knew you'd come. Somehow I just knew you'd find me. Not knowing where I was or when I was coming back sent you crazy. I kept my spies on you.
Magician fingers, come on!
Baby, 2 o'clock every night. Oh yeah, really makes love a drag.
Come on!
People, I know you don't think that's right. I'm running from the best of food. Oh yes, but I did what I could. Yes, I did. Oh, I love you more. Yes, I love you, baby. Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, yeah.
Come on. Yes, come on.
You see them falling. Can't you see them falling? Can't you see them falling? Now you listen. Just you listen.
That's me. I'm like trapped within a trance.
I can lose it. I've been trying so hard.
He is so badass. He's a boss right there. He's definitely a boss on that guitar. That's all I want to say. Homeboy on the guitar is a boss. Okay, so I want to talk about Led Zeppelin with Since I've Been Loving You. I love that track, and by far this is probably gonna be my most favorite reaction, and I'm about to tell you why. Because the reason why I sit there and say that is because with this performance, I felt like I was trapped within like a trance. Like I felt like I was homegirl that was in the crowd, where she was just like in awe of what was sitting there being put on display on the stage. Like they literally like went up there and like killed it, from the guitar, from the piano play, from the vocals, from everything about it was so amazing and so timeless and so mesmerizing, and I felt like I was so trapped within time. Like I felt like I was in like a 1950s, like 1960s type of blues like bar, like such of them and they were sitting there performing on stage, and I'm like in my living room and I'm sitting there listening to them, and it's crazy how they could sit there and uproot me from present time and take me to a place where they're at and sit there and be able to listen to them and put me in like this trance and get me lost in translation and what they're doing. I thought that was absolutely phenomenal. I thought it was beautiful. I thought, as far as the vocal, his vocal ability on point. And what I want to sit there and say, and please let me know if I'm reaching down in the comments below, but I'm preferencing this comment by sitting there saying, where I'm sitting there bringing this is as a correlation of where I think Maroon 5 gets their inspiration from. And I felt like Maroon 5 sits there, especially Adam Levine, where he sits there and draws his inspiration from his group like Led Zeppelin, because the way with the lead singer, just the way his mannerisms were, and just the way he sat there and approached the microphone with such confidence, but then with such grace as well. And to be able to sit there and just be able to, like, he was like, it was almost like, even though the song is called Since I've Been Loving You, and he was sitting there talking about love of, like, I'm assuming that he was sitting there talking about love for a special lady in his life. It was almost like he was making love to the mic and in love with the mic, if that makes sense. And so when I sit there and think of someone like Adam Levine, I sit there and think about how he sits there and tries to capture that essence and bring that to his performances when he's performing live, or anytime I sit there and see Adam Levine perform live. So let me know if in the comments below if I may be reaching or if I'm going too far out there. But this is what happens when I listen to rock music. It sits there and makes me tend to feel like I'm over analyzing a situation and feel like I'm stepping way overboard with something. But I love that about it. And then also I love, because this also makes me think about when The Voice, and I said this in a previous video about Shawn Mendes, the video I did with the reaction of Shawn Mendes, where I sat there and said how Usher sat there and spoke about on The Voice when the two artists, Brittany Samuel and I forgot the other guy who was competing against her, where they were sitting there competing, singing his song Climax. And I can just hear how and I can correlate Climax to Since I've Been Loving You and how they were performing that. And it's like, I think about it, and the reason why I'm prefacing this by saying this is because this is a very difficult song to sing, and for him to be able to sit there and hit that high register like that, and then to be able to drop down and take it back into that register, back into a lower register, is so incredible and so amazing. And so that's where I'm sitting there saying, where I see the correlation and understanding of what Usher was talking about when he was judging from that aspect of The Voice, when he was sitting there saying how his song Climax, when the two of them were performing, it's in the difficulties of trying to perform that song for a man to try to perform this song, because it's where you have to sit there and hit those high notes like that and go over like the beat and sit there and go but then it's also so difficult for a woman to sit there and capture the essence of this song, because you have to sit there and drop down and hit a lower type of register that normally men sit there and take that space and occupy that space, where women occupy that higher space. So this is one of those songs that I feel like masters and captures the essence of both of those and formulates it in together, like how Usher's Climax did. And that's why I'm sitting there equating the two, even though they're two different genres and it's by two different, is from Led Zeppelin from the past and Usher from present day. But it just made me think of that, and just how if somebody was to perform this, I would be like, how are you going to perform this? Because this is like a difficult song to sing. It's just like my favorite song by Prince, Purple Rain. I don't think nobody can sing that, because that is a difficult song to sing. Like, that song was perfect for him because he was able to sit there and sing that and jump. That's another song where you had to hit in the high register, and then you also had to sit there and go back down and drop down and sit in the pocket like that. And so it's like, it takes such a skill and such a genius and such a bravado and such vocal gift, ability, and talent to be able to sit there and do something like that. And I just love how they were able to express that through their music, through their artistry, just Led Zeppelin, through the guitar play, the piano play, just the mannerisms of being on stage and commanding the stage. Can we talk about how you command the stage? Like a lot of our faves that's in present day can't even command a stage when they sit there and have a performance. Like how many of our faves can sit there and honestly come on TV or just have a live performance and sit there and capture the young lady's performance out in the audience the way that he did as the lead singer and put her in a trance? Like, I'm a man and he put me in a trance, like just singing. Like that was crazy. Like he just took me to a time where I felt like I was like in a blues jazz like type of soulish rock type of club. Like I was just sitting there just listening to him. Like I felt like I was uprooted from 2019 and dropped right in that time period. Like that was completely amazing and effortless, and he did it with such ease and such grace and such poise. I thought that was dope. Like I loved it. So let me know in the comments below what you thought of this Led Zeppelin song. And with that being said, please remember to be safe out there. Remember to stay awesome, be awesome, because you guys are all awesome. This is your boy Mark, and I'm signing off. Deuces.
They need rappers like me. They need rappers like me. So they can get on their fucking keyboards and make me the bad guy, Chung Lee.